Hello! In this video, we are going to cover the new PDF Color Tools Control Wedge module. Uh, First thing you have to do is to have PDF Color Tools. And PDF Color Tools, as its name indicates, it's a software made with different modules for different tools. So if we are going to work only with the Control Wedge, first thing we should do is go into the Help settings and turn off all the modules that we are not going to use. So we can turn off all these modules here and just leave the control wedge. So when the software will be starting, I will just be able to work with the control wedge. This is just for the interface. On the other hand, now that I'm here in the settings, I can review the delta E's that by default are 3, but I can customize the delta E differences, tolerances that are going to be used for maximum primaries, spot averages, and so on. We will look at this later on. So I'm going to save the settings. So now I can just work with the control wedge. PDF Color Tools Control Wedge, it's a quality insurance module, and it's also designed for not making just the evaluation. It's also designed for making the correction that we need when we are making productions of given design. The first thing that we have to do is build the control wedge. And the control wedge is built clicking this save reference. And for this, we just have to drag and drop the PDF that we want to work with. And then here we will have all the Pantone colors that exist on the document. Here I see the color on this document, and I also have if the LAV or if the spot color is designed in LAV or in CMYK or how it's designed. And here I see a representation on the control wedge. I can work in CMYK, so I will be working in CMYK, and then I will have first row of the control wedge with just CMYK data, and a second row with the spot colors on the document. And I have to select the ICC profile that I'm going to use for printing on my machine. This is selected, and I'm previewing here in these curves here the dot gain of this particular ICC profile that I have, and that's my reference. And this is also, I can scale up and down the window, so I can see better these curves, all the curves. And this is, if I'm working in CWKOV, for example, this will be my ICC profile, and this will be the guest row. And the colors here are also taken from the ICC profile. So the references that I have will be taken from the ICC profile. If I click in one of these colors, I will have here the LAV color in whatever of these patches here, so I can inspect, and also on the media, of course. And if I drag and drop a document, I can then take a look at the color that is defined, for example, in this Pantone Orange 21, this is the color. Second thing that I have to do is remove the unnecessary colors. So if I don't want to make the evaluation with this color, I can just select the color and delete it. And I can rearrange the colors. So if I want the orange, for example, at the end, I just drag and drop, and then this color is put it at the end. So if you load one PDF and you don't want to include the orange INX, for example, and the violet INX, then you just remove these two colors, and in the control wedge, you will just have this first row and this pattern. This is especially important when you are working with documents like this one, that you have a bunch of spot colors, because here you just have one first row of spot colors that contains 15 spot colors. So if you load a document that has more than 15 spot colors like this one, that is weird, but you can have this kind of situations. Then you will see that you have in green the first 15 spot colors, but later on in red, all the others. Okay, in this kind of cases, if you create a reference, and I'm creating this reference now, you will get a warning message telling that only the first 15 spot inks has been added. So what you should do is create several control wedges. So you can select, for example, the first 15 spot colors, delete them, and then you will have the next 15 spot colors in the next control wedge. So now when all these 15 colors will be deleted, I will be able to create a second reference that I will name stu, for example. And then again, I have, because this document has hundreds of spot colors, so I will be now removing the second 15 group of spot colors, and then I will be creating a third control wedge, and like this. If I want to include all these Pantone spot colors in the control wedge evaluation, that's not a normal case. Normal case are documents that they have a couple of spot colors, two spot colors, three spot colors, and then you just have to drag and drop. And for creating the reference, you just click in reference, and then the control wedge is created. Okay, just for taking a look at the different control wedges, let me clean a little bit this thing. Let's close this window. If, for example, we are working with this document here, for example, that we have. This is spot colors here, and I'm working in scene waking, and that's my ICC profile. I can create four kind of control wedges: two longs and two shorts. The long ones are in a single row. 8 and 10 are the size of the squares, the size of the patches, 8 millimeters, 10 millimeters. And the short ones are created into rows. If you have to measure with the I1, Pro 2 or Pro 3, I recommend you to work with 8 millimeters. If you are going to use another software like Color and you are going to measure with an exact, then I recommend you to select a 10 millimeters patch sizes because the instrument needs to be with patches of 10. If you create it like this, long, and you save the reference will be something like this. It will be a single line that we will be able to add with the two rows in the left and in the right. If we save it as short, then we save the reference, the short will be two columns. So we are able to generate control wedges in a single row with two rows. This is the first row and this is the second row, or one over the other. In the control wedge, you also have the name of the document, when it has been created, and additional information that is helpful for when you set to print this control wedge here. And two files are created. One is the control wedge itself. These are the two control wedges that I have created. And the second one is the reference file. The reference file allows the guys in press to measure this thing without having the PDF. They don't need the PDF. They just need these files here. These files here are text files, so extremely small size, and they contain the name of the job. So when they are making the production, they can, in an easy way, drag and drop this file, and then they have here the reference. Okay, so they can select the instrument and start doing the measurements. Now let's continue making a real sample with all the process. And here we have a document that it's a real document from a customer. And first thing we have to do is create the control wedge. For creating the control wedge, we open PDF Color Tools, we go to the control wedge tool, and we drag and drop the PDF. Then we have the spot colors on the PDF. I'm gonna build this as a long control wedge with 8 millimeters, and we save the reference. Then we have this file, and we have to open this document with Illustrator. And in the document, I'm gonna create a new layer, name, for example, control wedge. And in this layer, we are going to place uh, this control wedge that we have over here, because I have here space for this control wedge. Depending on the document, we will be placing the control wedge in different locations. And then I can save this thing. For printing this file. Okay, when we send to print this thing in the RIP, we will have something like this. In this case, and we send to print this thing, and then we will have to measure it once it's measured. For measuring it, I'm gonna clean, so I will start from scratch. The only thing you need is to load the reference. And when you load the reference, you can connect the A1 and do the measurement. Here I have a sample, one sample measurement. And this was the first measurement I made. And here you will see that everything is like out of gamut. The references are saved with ref. The measurements are saved with dot MAA, the measurements. And here I can take a look at every color and compare what I was printing regarding what it was supposed to be printed. So this was, let's say, not passing regarding this ICC. That is the reference. But maybe the customer was happy with that, and this result was okay. So this is the dot gain on the reference, and this is how this particular print was printed. But let's assume that the customer is not happy with the results, or that I'm not happy with the results, and I want to fix this thing because my machine is printing in a different way than when it was calibrated. So because something has happened, I don't know what, but now it's different. So I want to fix it. Then what I have to do is click in this curve button here for saving these compensation curves. And these composition curves can be saved in different file formats. For example, if I'm working with ColorGate, I can save it as ColorGate gradation curves. And I will save it as curve in the desktop. And then once the curves are saved, I just have to go to ColorGate. And in the document, in the color settings, go into the settings. And here we have the profiles and everything. And the last tab is the color correction tab. And in this tab, I can import some curves that I have on my desktop that are these curves. And I can say OK and OK. And I can load these curves for this file or load this as default for all the files. So I could save this into the meme, or I could change it directly on my queue. So in the hot folder, I can edit the meme directly here, and I can load this curves for the meme. So this correction will be applied not just to that job, it will be applied to every single job that I will be loading here. If instead of working with ColorGate, I'm working with Print Factory, when I save the curves, I have to select Photoshop curves. When I save as Photoshop curves, these curves, when I go to the RIP and I have my job, I have here the calibrator. And in the calibrator, here I have the PMM, and in the PMM that I'm using, I can click in this button here. This button here is for adjusting the dot gain or loading some curves. And here I can import the curves that I have exported from PDF Color Tools. So I will be modifying with these curves the PMM that will be applied into the job. So I can save this thing, and now my PMM will contain this thing. Talking about the PMM, it's important to know that in the spot colors of the PMM, need to have this 100% cyan, yellow, magenta, black, and orange, and so on, because this will be the replacement. So I need to add these things exactly in the same way as in ColorGate. When I'm loading these things in my color replacement table, I need to have these things to be targeting these spot colors to the primary colors, just for making the control wedge the primary colors of the control wedge being printed with the right colors. Once I print again the job with the curves, then I will get these measurements here. And in these measurements here, as you see, now I'm passing. Now all the deviations are much under control and below my tolerances that I have specified in 3.is. However, if you see this pattern here, the 422, it's out of gamut. It's 334. But it's out of gamut uh, not because I'm making the wrong print, because it's an out of gamut color. So I can click this button of spots to ICC and check my possible color, how it's going. So this is the reference that is my best match for this pattern on my ICC profile. And this is the color that is defined on the PDF. So it's not the same making the evaluation regarding the ICC or regarding the PDF. If I turn on this option here, all the spot colors will be converted into my ICC profile. So here I should be able to hit under the tolerances every single spot color. If one spot color is out of gamut or is not below 3 delta is, with this option turned on, then I can build an abstract profile and move these colors in the right place because this area on the ICC profile is not correctly working or whatever. So I can build an abstract profile with all these colors. I can save it here and I'm going to save it, for example, this abstract profile on my desktop. And I have to load this abstract profile in the RIP for adjusting the colors. I remember you that in ColorGate, this is made here in the settings. And here I have to select the abstract profile that I have to copy in the right place. Okay. So once the job is correctly produced or the customer has approved it, I can create a report. And this report will tell me if this is passing or not passing, all the deviations, all the colors. I can add notes and all the. I will have one page for every single color. Okay. And next time I will be going to make a production on this job, I will be loading this as a reprint. If I load it as a reprint and I load here the measurements, this previous measurements will be used as reference. So, for example, just for showing it to you, when in the first measurements, I had this. This was my ICC profile, and this was my measurements. If you see this dot gain, if I load these measurements as reprint, then here I will have my reference. So I want to print like the previous time. If I'm loading the things and I have this checkbox turned on, I will do not use any ICC profile or anything. I just want to print as the previous production was made. So my reference will be the previous measurements that I have here on my measurement. So this is ensuring I will be able to double check if the next production is being printed exactly as it was printed the previous time. And if it's not, I will be able to create some correction curves. So if I have these control wedges in all my jobs, I can always make the print as it was made the last time. Okay. When you make a reprint, I'm gonna load one reprint measurements here so you will see how it looks. Everything should be below 0, 0 something because you are just printing as you print the last time. And if you load some measurements for reprint, then this option will be turned on in an automatic way.